Hello, this is Alekius, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as the French, continuing our dual war with both Austria and Japan. In our review, we saw that Austria is pretty much out of ships, so we are keeping our newest fleet in the Adriatic to launch the invasion of Albania. We have our other modern fleet out in Palestine, and once that is done, it will either assist the main fleet in the Adriatic or head off to the Far East, where the most of the rest of the Navy is off of Kyushu or heading there to see the successful invasion of the Japanese home islands. Austria replaces their admiralty, not a surprise. Our least favorable outcome, the Akagi has found our 3 cruisers, but our battlecruisers were busy elsewhere. So here we have the Akagi battlecruiser, the Kashi Mayari heavy cruiser with 9.2 inch guns. We're sitting at 8 inch guns, and the 5s that we've had pretty good success with recently. They've got a couple of those turret farmed light cruisers, and then a few of their regular destroyers. This ought to be interesting. And then we have a couple more submarine actions that we have to worry about. For this fight, because of the Akagi's guns, we need to focus on her. Hopefully, she has a weakness in her armor somewhere. Let's tighten up the formation. And see if they even want to engage. There they are. That appears to be the Akagi with 3 centerline single-barreled guns. No, 4. And then 2 dual wing turrets. That is strange. And she is low on fuel. Whereas we are not. We have plenty of fuel, in fact. Alright, the main guns are going to stay on the Akagi, and we are going to use AP rounds. Yes, they're 8 inch, but we've been focusing on armor piercing. The deck hits aren't going to be good. The belt hits, yeah, that's plenty of penetration. Unless this is a surprisingly armored battlecruiser. See, what range are we at? We are at 7.5 kilometers already. Let's get broadside. Partial penetrations of the 4 belt on the Akagi. First full broadside. Torpedo detonation on the Akagi. go. Alright, let's flip around the other way. And also let's give a directive to our secondaries. I want the primaries on the Akagi, thank you. I heard that. Good hit somewhere on one of our ships. Surprised the Akagi has not been identified yet. There's more torpedoes, which should not be a concern. Actually they might. Not the group leader, I want torpedo avoidance. Too late, took a torpedo to the stern on the Mets. More torpedoes inbound. Gotta stay focused, this could get ugly. Oh, yeah, we have a whole bunch coming in. Turn into them. One of them's gyroscope went wild. We took two, not the one I was hoping for. But we can see the armor scheme on the Akagi is actually pretty good. 22 inches of penetration. We can beat that. Ooh, ammo detonation on the Pythons. I'm going to separate these out for independent action. Finally, some flooding on the Akagi in the forward citadel. Mets, we're going to keep away a little bit, see if we can't engage the Kashimayari. Because she is no longer maneuverable against those torpedoes. Oh yeah, we're getting hosed by the battlecruiser. Gonna take a few incidental hits here. Close in hit, not good enough though. Let's keep the Mets turning and focused on the Kashimayari. Now the Protectrice is the point of focus for the Akagi. Point blank fire. Got one of the destroyers now. They have no ammo. Soya does have ammo. Let's manual this rudder. If we stay close, they won't be able to fire torpedoes for fear of hitting their friendlies. We're taking a lot of flooding now though. Soya's flooding in multiple decks or compartments. Ease out the rudder. Oh, and we get rammed. There we go, multiple flooding on the Akagi. Looks like just under the bridge again. We got the Soya down. Like to focus on the Chikuma. So she has torpedoes as well. So does the Akagi. Bow and stern. The bow one has been destroyed. Alright, let's flip the rudder. And take a lull to check on the Mets. Oh, nice. Thank you. Appreciate the help there, Chikuma. Torpedo into the bow of the Akagi. Looks like we got a shell into the stern as well. Flash fire. Oh, I think we may have turned the battle in our favor. I knew this was going to be rough, but I didn't know it was going to be this rough. Confirm these destroyers have spent their torpedoes. They have. Shift our rudder, which is now flooded. Oh, and we're listing too far, and we're showing our belly. Oh, that's bad. Torpedo detonation on the Chikuma, which is good for us. Oh, we took a full broadside. The Protectrice is not gonna last. We stayed with her to see what would happen. Akagi is still flooding astern. That's about it. At 4.3 kilometers. Our 8-inch are going to have some trouble. So let's try to focus down the Kashimayari first. Oh, and I still left them on AP rounds. What's the armor on this? Yeah, not much. Do we want to switch to HE? Oh yeah, we have ballistic capped HE rounds. So yeah, we'll switch to HE for the Kashimayari. Secondaries will switch to the Chikuma, which has nil armor. Alright, what are we firing for these? It can be AP or HE, it doesn't really matter. Really, it should be HE. Kashimayari is almost done. There we go. Chikuma is going to have that torpedo launcher up and running here shortly. If we turn to starboard, the ship will roll to port. Make for an easier chance. Oh, we lost the alpha turret. No wonder the gunfire seems kind of light. We'll shift the secondaries to the Umikaze. Flooding on the Chikuma. Excellent. Flooding on the Umakazes. Rudder, which is good. That'll help us for some follow-on shots. Full broadside into the Chikuma now. Imagine that Akagi has enough of her own troubles and her gunfire will be less than... Oh, nope, that's actually pretty good. She's listing pretty hard though, so she doesn't have a lot of gunfire she can use. Not accurately. Or can't at all. Can't elevate. Yeah, that looks like it might be it for the Chikuma. We want to avoid any torpedoes she might launch as she goes down. There we go. Yeah, Chikuma's done. Reverse our rudder. Sure, the main guns can focus on the Akagi. Well, Akagi's not much of a threat anymore. We'll still split the battery. This is going to cause us to list to starboard, so we might lose the ability to train the guns, elevate the guns down far enough to fire at the destroyers. That's the concern. We'll see if it's warranted. Suga is lost their bridge and is flooding. In the engine room. Good. Slow down is what we're looking for. Alright, let's ease the rudder. Help our accuracy while we still bring the ship around to fire on the Akagi's exposed. Well, actually, the side is not exposed because she's listing to starboard. Oh man, excellent hit with that 5-inch. Yeah, the Umikaze is done. Focus on the Suga. Though we might switch the primaries here shortly. One over penetration with the 8-inch. Oh. They're still firing away. Got multiple floodings. Let's go rudder amidships. Alright, the Akagi's belly is starting to be exposed, so we will now shift gun the primary battery and load armor piercing. The Tsuga is still quite quite fast, despite all the flooding. We've got good fire control for the secondaries, though. There's a hit. Main belt flooding. Primary armament is locked in on the Akagi now. Got a couple more hits on the Tsuga. And she is done. We can focus entirely on the Akagi now. Alright, we've lit a fire back aft. Oh, that was the main armament. Let's get the rudder over. We found where their list is able to aim at us, unfortunately. It's too late. That hit was... I heard it fire, I'm like, it probably won't hit. They don't have a firing solution. Nope. Did us in. A valiant fight by our heavy cruisers. This is why I was worried about this fight. Still came out even, destroying all of her escorts and seriously damaging the Akagi. And the fight was fun. Very aggressive, close-in fight. Always risky, always chaotic. As always, could have managed it better. But that's hindsight speaking. And we can't win them all. Only lost 4 transports in the South Pacific. That's pretty good, actually. Mexico wants a pair of destroyers. Not going to pay us a lot. Really? Oh, no, this is the naval invasion. Yeah, we asked for this. All that's left are the 3 invasions. We do not have the needed tonnage up here. We don't have to get too much closer. We'll get close enough to do some port attacks. And I think we'll send back the St. Louis and the Mortier. Minor damage, but they're not really needed anymore. We can do this without them. Alright. Actually, why don't we send them over to help assist with the invasion? Especially as there's no longer a sub that we know of there. We can't pull these out of port. Meanwhile, in Kyushu, we're up to 63% chance. We lost our heavy cruisers. Our battlecruiser is seeking to return to port. See if our battlecruisers can catch up to them. These ones don't need to move. Finances down to 153% on transports. With the war with Austria, the turns are a bit busier now. Those were some exciting, well, actually most of the Austrian fights have been unexciting. They've been fun, just trounce an enemy fleet after enemy fleet after enemy fleet. The war with the Japanese has been definitely in our favor, but more back and forth. Looks like they sallied their 2 heavy cruisers. An attempt to disrupt our invasion. Alright, all ships are in place. I love the profile of these. I'm glad we decided to go ahead and make this ship. Looks like an evening fight again. They are in that direction. 4 heavy cruisers. Line astern, please. I'm going to do that for the entire fleet. Unless these cruisers decide to run. Alright, everybody turn into where they should be. They might not be able to run. Corbeil is fast. There they are. Opening up at 9 kilometers with this visibility. Well, we know it's one of the cruisers. That is frightening. Some of the 14-inch getting the first strikes. Flash fire. Right off the bat. Y turret. X turret. And the A turret. Well, that was fast. .3% accuracy at 7 kilometers, presumably. Yeah, the Austrians seem to like ships that light on fire real easy. You know what? We're not going to adjust our angle. I was going to come in more directly. We'll keep our ships coming in nicely. Don't want to disrupt their firing solution. We'll see if we can duplicate that effort. There's our first 14-inch hit. And our third one. On the main belt. Awkward angle for that. There we go. There it is. Multiple massive hit. Yeah, just straight up fire. Not even from a ammo explosion. They needed a salvo to zero it in, and then the next one is just done. 12, 14-inch hits. Yeah, that'll ruin your day. And loss of transports. Northeast Asia, South Pacific, North Oceania. Be expected. Poland signs with China. That's not going to work out well for you. It's unlikely to be at war with China. Soviet Union upset with us lately. Kyushu, we're at 100%. Almost. 2% away. I'd be real upset if that fails. Wow, we zipped all the way out there. Ah, man, and they sent all of their fleets out. Why you like this, Japan? Try to intercept in the Carolines. Meanwhile, Lebanon is at 100%, and so is Albania. No surprises there. 152% for our transports. And we'll see if we can't get one more month in. Masses of dissatisfied pacifists protest and block the roads. What do you propose to do? Our unrest is at 0. If we make an official statement that the government will offer financial aid to the needy, definitely have the money. That's a lot, but we have the money. And it improves relations. Gives us prestige. And the unrest doesn't matter. We have the money. There's no reason not to. Full oil burners 2. That'll be nice. Mark 5 9-inch guns. Mark 4 5-inch. A lot of transports lost in the South Pacific and North Oceania. Looks like Korea wants one of those battlecruisers. Palestine changed hands while it was attacked from many sides. The offensive had to stop. France gains Palestine. There we go. St. Louis and Warrior will head to Tunis. And the Francisque and Harpon will rejoin the fleet. I'm going to keep our Savoy and our republics here to back up our main fleet. Looks like our submarines finally found some Japanese transports. Didn't think they existed anymore. No luck for the submarines. Politically, Japan has 2 battleships, 1 battlecruiser, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 1 destroyer. Very low on light forces at this point. Austria has managed to build a battlecruiser and a destroyer. They're building 21 ships. Japan's building 27. Austria's army logistics are actually decent. Keep chasing Japanese fleets out here in the Pacific. Should I count on our superiority and just split up? No, that's 2 battleships down there. Capital ships. A battleship and a battlecruiser. No, that's a heavy cruiser. Didn't that just say a battleship? That's a battleship. That's a heavy cruiser. That's a heavy cruiser. Alright. I missed that one. But with that, I think we are at time for today. So I appreciate you staying to the end. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.